is the Bill Squire Show.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly. 'Tis the season to be jolly. Don we now our gay apparel for the ancient Yuletide carol. See the blazing Yule before us. Strike the harp and join the chorus. Follow me in merry measure while I tell of Yuletide treasure. Oh Lord, yeah!
Thought that'd be a fun way to start the show off today.
I love that.
That's great, right?
Who did that?
That is a guy named, where's your name, sir? Aaron Gage.
Nice.
Aaron
Good job,
Gage. You
Aaron.
can find it on Vimeo. I found it on Reddit this morning, and I dig it. I dig it a lot. It's good stuff. Welcome to the Bill Squire Show. I am Bill Squire, and I'm here with Mary Santora.
Hey guys, what's up?
So, just getting settled in here. You have a little depression problem, are you?
Dude, and I mean, this is like
I
the
always know what to
third
talk
time.
about because of Mary's stories.
Yeah, that's fine. I post about it on Instagram. It's been like, honestly, I did my album recording about, 10 days ago, 12 days, 2 weeks ago now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was just having something to look forward to was so exciting.
Yeah.
And then once it was over, I was like, my life is meaningless. I'm serious. It's just like, I don't have anything to get out of bed for. Like, I don't have to come to work till 2. So it's like, why am I getting up at 8:30? Like, I have nothing to do. I don't care. I stopped cooking. I stopped working out. Like, and I haven't worked out in probably at least 6 weeks, like consistently. Yeah. And yeah, it's just like this is like the third round of it this year where I'm like, God damn it. And like I feel myself falling into the same routines. Mm-hmm. And it's like this cycle that you just got to get up and break. And I just can't. Oh, it's just so frustrating.
It is. And it's something that I've struggled with my entire life. Mm-hmm. Just like depression. Like I'm so familiar with depression that when I'm not depressed, I'm like, what's going on?
Something's wrong.
Like I won't be depressed and be like, I'm just getting out of bed. That seems weird for me. Uh-huh. That's like a weird thing. Like I'm in a pretty good spot right now, all things considered. But I mean, I definitely had some severe bouts of depression this year. But it's one of those things where it's like looking those little things, and we were talking about this yesterday. Routines and things like that help us stay, from getting into that depression or help us get out of that depression. Mm-hmm. So like you said, like why would I get up? It's like get up because you can. Yeah. And do something and find something that is enjoyable to do. And, it doesn't have to be productive or whatever. Just do something.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I've just been. I did that today. Like, I was in bed till afternoon, and then I was like, just get up and friggin' stretch. Just do anything. So I, stretched a little bit, and then I did, at-home workout. It's nothing crazy. I mean, it made me sweat and got my heart rate up. But
and it's also a good reminder that you, like, on a day like today where you don't want to get out of bed, you can always say, hey, if it sucks, you can get back in bed.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You can make, I'll do that agreement with myself all the time. They're like, hey, if you get up now, you'll have time to get back in bed if it's what you really want. Yeah. But then once you get up and start going and start doing things, you go, oh, okay, this wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Yeah. And it's just this constant battle that I mean, literally my entire adult life.
Yeah, dude. And it's like we were talking about yesterday, I like having things to do and I'm a busy person. So when I don't have anything to do except laundry, and I'm like, well, I don't have to do this. I don't have, you know what I mean? So it's it's almost like I put off mundane tasks and easy responsibilities because once I get them all accomplished, it scares me to really have nothing to do.
Right.
And how depressing is that? It's like, oh, I'm looking forward to getting my oil changed because it's something to do next week, So knocking all that stuff off, that's how I don't know, I had that revelation this morning where I'm like, why am I putting off this easy stuff? I mean, checking the mail, easy stuff. Why am I putting this off? And it's like, oh, because once you do it, then what?
Then what? Yeah, because then you have nothing to do, and then you fall into, some less healthy things, whether it's just eating food out of boredom.
Oh, my God.
Or, playing with yourself, masturbation can be a real problem. You even have a bit about it.
Yeah.
Where it's like you developed, I don't want to ruin the bit, but it basically, when you're sad, you're doing that.
Too much. Yeah. For sure.
When you do it too much.
Yeah.
It's honestly ruining it how wet it is, to be honest.
You're isolating my stories now. Oh my god. Well, that's the thing that I like doing. I like exercising, cooking, and journaling are the 3 things that like I know if I do.
Wait, let me do that again so
Okay,
it comes through
go
the
ahead.
thing. I didn't have it plugged in all the way.
How wet it is, to be honest.
Nah, see, Alan makes this stuff look easy.
It's honestly ruining it how wet it is, to be honest.
So that's what I'm saying is like those 3 things really helped me. So yesterday, even though it was just a crock pot, I'm like, I'm going to cook dinner. I haven't cooked in my home. I cook breakfast pretty much every day, but like making dinners and things, I haven't done that since before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Because then I was living off leftovers for a week, and then I was just like dining out or whatever, or getting takeout. And so I was like, all right, yesterday before work, I was like, I'm going to put all this stuff in a crock pot. This is great. And I was an idiot. And it's just, I actually thought about our conversation yesterday when I was talking about like, I read a recipe and was like, oh, this doesn't look right. And so I like improvised. It didn't call for me to add any water or broth or anything, but it didn't look like it would be moist enough without it. So I did. And then now my taco mix is like just sopping wet. And I don't know if you ever tried to, this is all going to sound so gross. I've ever tried to eat a wet taco before, but
This is all too easy.
I know. That's why I'm like
there's
annoyed
a certain
by
chain around here that like specializes in wet tacos. I won't
It's
call them out. But it's
annoying.
disgusting. It's like,
This
whoa,
is not
drain
what
this
I-
stuff.
Yes.
I don't want a sopping wet taco.
So I was like trying to drain it, and then by the time I got it onto the plate, and I'm like, oh my god! And but it still tastes. I actually brought some if you want some after this because I haven't eaten yet today because I was running around like a crazy person. I drained most of the juice, and then your girlfriend hit me up like later and was like, "Oh, save the juice and make a sauce out of it." I was like, "Well, it's gone now. Like, what the heck?" But even just like cooking and having healthy food to eat, it's just people asked me for a recipe for it. It's just chicken, a can of salsa or a jar of salsa, peppers, onions, and like taco seasoning, whatever seasonings you want to put in it.
Yeah, but then you went off book anyway, so just
I went off
Google a
book
good Google one. Don't go with the one that Mary.
No. The only thing I went off
Butchered.
book. The only thing I went off book with was adding water to it. You don't need to add water to it.
Gotcha.
That was it.
Gotcha.
And then rice and whatever. But yeah, it was really easy. If you just do crock pot chicken salsa, it'll pop up, and it's very easy. But yeah, even that, just like cooking and like it tasted really good. I'm like, okay, like even that makes me feel a little bit better.
Yeah, just do it. Like I said, doing anything like makes you feel productive. Like tonight when I go home, I have to move everything out of my bedroom because the floors are getting redone in there. Like after 4 or 5 months of waiting, it's finally getting done. And I've been dreading that all week, and it keeps getting pushed back. And like I was about to do it last night, and the guy calls me. He's like, "Hey, I'm not going to be here till Saturday now." And I'm dreading it, but I'm also like, "But what else am I doing tonight?"
Right.
Like I don't have anything else to do.
Well,
so you can just do it and take your time and not have to worry about it.
Yeah, I'm going to be in this building until probably 10 or 11 tonight, just because of what I have to do. I have to work for the whole weekend. I have to do things. And then I also have a virtual corporate gig at 7, which is just annoying, the timing of it, because I'm going to be like starting actual work and then I have to stop in the middle of it to do this corporate gig and then start back up. And it's 3 days worth. I have to do Saturday, Sunday, and Monday's worth of work tonight.
Just knock it all out.
So I'm just like, oh my God, I'm just going to be here.
We also have to do Week in Cox Sunday morning, wink,
Yes.
wink. But yeah, I don't want to forget that.
Okay, Jesus, yeah.
So we got to knock that out.
So like getting ready this morning, I was like, I didn't get out of bed in time. And then I was like, I forced myself to work out. I'm like, if I don't do anything else today, I'm going to do some form of workout. And then like I had to take a shower, and then I didn't eat, and I'm like rushing around, and then I had to get all my stuff to do the corporate gig here because I wasn't gonna be able to go home. So I had to like pack my ring light and my laptop and my this and my that. And like I'm like, I felt like the opening scene of Home Alone where I'm like running around, like just trying to get everything that I need to get, you know? But it's fine. We're here.
We're doing it. And again, you had things to do, and you have more things to do.
Yeah.
So like you want things to do. So
Yes.
So yes, as much as it feels overwhelming, it's good to have those things. And then that dark time though, like that depression, there's a creativity that I have in those moments where like, I mean, even just earlier this year when my girlfriend broke up with me, like we were going through a weird time, like I was on it with like social media posts and like I was being weird. It was weird posts, but it, like the creativity was flowing in me.
Yeah.
So sometimes
depression will do that.
Depression or just
or whatever.
anything. Yeah, you like there's something about that, and it gets scary too because then you're like, oh, is depression my muse?
Right.
And
it's like you're going to be the people who can't write without drinking or
yes,
whatever.
Yes,
like,
and you get afraid of
that. Famous Orwell? Was he the drunk that drank himself into it?
No.
There's a writer who like was an
it starts
alcoholic.
with an H. He's the guy that was like in war.
I have no idea.
And that's not Harry Hickenbacker. That's not a guy.
You made that name up big
yeah,
time.
I sure did.
No, but like then you start to play with that and you're like, oh, this is something that has to happen. And you know what really annoyed me is that I'm like, the reason why I'm late and rushing around is because I was trying to break this friggin' depression. And if I would have just stayed in bed.
Oh,
Hi. Somebody calling us?
Yeah, we're getting calls. We're going to have a bunch of stuff. So let me just still got some stuff to set up. What's his name? I'm trying to remember his name.
It's not Emerson.
No, it's not Emerson. He was like
Henry David Thoreau?
No, I think he was drunk too, but I think there's one specifically we're thinking of. I think he was in World War I. He got hurt.
Google who was the drunk
He fell in love
writer.
with the nurse. Hemingway. I was pretty close with Henry Heckenberg.
He had the cats. He had the thumb cats like Dutch. But then I'm aggravated and because I'm like, listen, I'm just trying to break this depression and get out of bed and do something. And me breaking the cycle of depression threw off the rest of my day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, I'm trying to do something good for my body. I'm trying to friggin' just work out and eat right. And then now the rest of my day is shot.
Yeah, but
it's not shot, but you know what I mean.
It's a little more tumultuous than it had to be if you had just gotten up. Yeah.
Yes.
So here's something I was talking with my girlfriend about last night. And I think it's interesting that she's a person that when you look at her, you can kind of figure out who she is just based off of looks.
Like her face or what she wears?
What she wears. Like the way she dresses tells the story of her pretty well. And how accurate would you say your clothing does that for you?
Well, I wear a lot of different things. Like this is just kind of, I mean, my socks match my shirt. The last time I wore this outfit, someone told me I looked like an Old Navy commercial, which is fine. But I feel like I will wear this, but then I'll also wear like black jeans with the combat looking boots and a leather jacket and a graphic tee. And I love wearing like getting really dressed up and glammed up and in a, you know, a beautiful dress with my hair done and my makeup all done.
But like
so,
day-to-day Mary, just what you would wear to the station on a day-to-day basis.
I feel like that's this. Just jeans and like a top, a sweater or a t-shirt or something.
Do you think that like is pretty indicative of who you are as a person? Because like my girlfriend, for example, is like she is. How easygoing do you think you are?
I think I'm pretty easygoing.
I think as long as people are going with you.
What do you mean?
I think you are easygoing, but once something isn't the way you want it to be, you're not easygoing.
In what way? I need an example. Mr. I need examples. Give me one.
Like yesterday, you going to Lowe's and having a hard time there, where like you were so worried that people were gonna think you're a dumb girl that you turned something that could have been easy going, like, I'm just going to Lowe's, I don't know anything about anything, I'm just gonna go in here, get my ladder and be out of here.
I think it's different. I don't think I put unnecessary pressure on myself, but when I'm in like social situations or with other people, I feel like I'm easygoing. If someone's like, hey, we want to go do this, I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah, I would say that. But
when it comes to just me, I'm a crazy person,
right,
like full blown.
And that's what I know about you, though.
But that's just with me.
Yeah.
I'm not like that with other people.
Right. Okay. So you'll go with the flow with other people. You're easygoing with other people, but not with yourself. And maybe
I'm a train wreck in my own brain.
Maybe there's a lesson to be learned there.
Dude, I've said that 100 times. That is a reoccurring, and why I like journaling so much. That's a reoccurring thing in my journal where I'm like, if anybody in my life talked to me the way that I talk to me, it would be over. We would never speak again. It would ruin a friendship. And that's something that I actually realized in sobriety was how hard I am on myself and how relentlessly, like, I don't let up. Yeah. And it's definitely a character flaw that I'm trying to work on.
Well, that's why when people, if someone comes at us in a negative way on social media or anything like that, it's not that we're obsessing over them. It's that's triggering the part of us that believes them.
Yeah,
That's like, I am a fraud, or I am
I'm
too fat,
already
or whatever
telling
it is.
me that.
Yes,
I don't need to hear it from you.
So it's like you're battling this thing, and they're just kind of reminding you of it. You're just like, because you don't care about that person, but it is how you feel about yourself in a way. And like I have that problem like severely, to the point where like I want to get back to a point where I just didn't care so much. Mm-hmm. And
it's because we don't have anything else right now, man. I'm telling you, that's what it is.
It is, but it isn't, though.
I didn't give half a shit what people would say when I was able to.
Hey, you did it! Mary's
you got
first
a
swear.
cuss.
Yeah.
I really could care less when, I mean, I'm more prone to that, but when I was able to just go on stage every night.
Yeah.
Or like, you know what I mean? Like this twice a month on stage thing is killing me. So I had other stuff going on, or traveling, or I had bigger things to worry about, flights and hotels and checking in and renting a car. Like I didn't really care what you thought because I have other things to worry about.
And that's also
I don't have anything else to worry about now.
Something that why I wanted to do these shows while we were on like vacation or vacation is because if we weren't doing stand-up that much and we weren't getting the creative outlet of the Alan Cox Show, me doing my podcast once a week is going to not be enough of an outlet for me to have that creative fulfillment, because I need that.
Oh, yeah.
And like if I don't have that, it feels like that's when the depression really sinks in and gets like scary.
When you feel like you have like when I was like, I have nothing after the album recording, I was like, what else is there to live for?
Right. Album release.
Yeah, I know that. And I like have to go through, I haven't had time because it's 3 shows that are each over an hour long that I have to listen to and kind of time out and say, hey, this is what I like or what I don't like, or levels or whatever. So I haven't felt like I've had 3 block hours.
Right.
And here's the lies I tell myself too. I tell myself I don't have 3 consecutive hours to sit and listen to those and take notes on it. But in reality, I watched 3 episodes of The Queen's Gambit last night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like...
But again, that comes down to the balance that you have, and you posted about this and you shared this on your Instagram story about like that is work. So you've been working and learning new skills here.
Yeah.
So I can totally understand why you don't want to go home and then
do another
more
3
work
hours of work. Yeah.
Of 3 hours. That's even though they're different things, it's still mentally exhausting.
And then it felt like, I mean, and this is what I say when you're like, are you easygoing? I'm like, with everybody else, yes. With myself, no. Because then I start to beat myself up where it's like, people would kill to have a job that they love. A lot of people hate their job. So are you really bitching about going home and doing what you love at the end of the day?
Right,
like,
and that's really what it comes down to me with like the way I dress and like my appearance. Like I love, like this was the goal. This is one of the reasons I got into comedy. One of the reasons that I didn't want to do things the way everybody else does them is so that I could dress how I want, basically. And just being able to wear t-shirts and sweatpants or t-shirts and jeans and not really have to get dressed up all the time. When there was a big part of my life where I had to basically wear a uniform, this is heaven to me.
Yeah.
And so when people are like, oh, you dress like a teenager, like they'll say dumb things like that. And I'll just be like, yeah, isn't it great? I can dress how I want.
Yeah.
I can dress however I want.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful.
Well, that's what I like about having a lot of different looks in my wardrobe.
Yeah.
Where it's easy, just like a sweater and some socks, a cozy little winter look. I like this. And then, like I said, like more of a, I don't know, rocker vibe where it's like, I got the boots and the jacket and the hair up and you know what I mean? And I can do my
leather jacket confidence.
Yeah, right? You can do your makeup a little bit differently. Or I have like, for shows, I like to wear like a nice top and some heels, What?
Just someone said Debbie Dirt Diddler, which is
gross.
Well, that was the.
Oh, is that who's helping?
Well, no, wasn't that one of the country music people that I brought up?
Oh, maybe, I don't know.
I think it was something like that. But yeah, I mean, having those looks, but I also don't think that you can look at me and really, like, you can know some things about me, but you're gonna have some assumptions about me that are gonna be way off.
Because you wear sweatpants in public.
Yes.
So people can be like, this guy doesn't even care.
Right, and I don't for the most part.
Well, then
about
that's
some
accurate.
Things, but about some things. But then there's also, like, I think people could look at me and assume that I'm going to be less woke than I am.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm not woke at all.
No.
But, But no, like, I think people would think that, and this happens a lot, like, people were coming at me over the Indian stuff, and then they were talking about, like, why do you put your pronouns in your profile? I'm like, to show support to my trans son.
Yeah.
And they're like, how is that support? I'm like, because
like normalizing it.
It normalizes it.
And I hate that people are overuse the word normalize because I think it is very important to do things like that. But when it's every other tweet is like, normalize eating 2 cookies at once. I'm like, why? Like, do you have to? Like, this is, I mean, whatever.
Listen, that is normal.
Right.
Who eats 1 cookie?
Nobody. Nobody ever.
Yeah, it's a horrible way to live your life. Eat 2 cookies at once and then throw one of them up.
So I guess...
Be an adult.
Yeah, binge and purge. Come on.
Half purge. Not all. Don't purge them all because then you have a problem. But if you purge a little bit, I feel like that's just calorie control.
I think that depending on the day that you see me, you might you might not know. Like, you know what I mean? Does that make sense? That like I wear a lot of different, or like I have Vans and a flannel and, you know. I think I just never had clothes growing up, so
now you want
I just want to wear it. Yeah, and I feel cute.
You're like, now I'm all the kids in high school.
Yes!
I'm the rocker. I'm the preppy. I'm every single person.
But I think there's little parts of me that is all those things. Like
I agree.
The Vans and the black tank top for emo night.
And that's why it's almost like I'm jealous in a way of my girlfriend because she dresses in a way that, pretty much tells you who she is. Mm-hmm. But she's... And I don't want to say she's that simple because she's more than that, obviously.
Yeah.
But it is that, like, it's that contained.
Yeah.
Like, she has no desire to step out of that. And there's some sort of comfort to that.
Yeah. That's who she is. And she's totally confident and comfortable in it. And that's great.
All right. Well, what was the next thing? You don't like basketball, right? You want to talk about that for a little bit?
I mean, sure.
All right.
This is going to be a one-sided conversation because I don't have anything to add.
No, I think Kyrie Irving right now is getting, like, everybody's panties in a twist because he doesn't want to do interviews after. It's not really about basketball. So Kyrie Irving is doing all these. He's not doing interviews, which in the NBA, it's part of your contract is you're supposed to be available for media to take questions. And he, instead of doing that, he's been releasing statements about this on his social media rather than just talking to the reporters.
Okay.
Because he doesn't like how they take him out of context, blah, blah, blah. All these different excuses, but mostly he thinks he's better than people. And he used that term, like he said, I don't talk to pawns, which was he was quoting Malcolm X, and he's like, that's like, but he used it for a very different meaning. Yeah. And it's just like, it rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. And Charles Barkley pretty much killed it on talking about how Kyrie's been handling this whole situation. So here's Charles Barkley talking about Kyrie Irving and the whole not talking to the media thing.
I don't hate on him, but I'm not sure what point Kyrie is trying to make. And when he talks, I'm like, what the hell is he trying? What is he saying, and what is he trying to say? Listen, guys, I think a lot of these guys, he starts talking about what an artist he is. He's a basketball player. That's what he is. We're not frontline responders. We're not teachers. Yo, man, you dribble a basketball. Stop acting like you're the smartest person in the world. Now, can you talk about social issues and things like that? Of course. But some of that other stuff, I'm like, yo, man, you do realize you're just a basketball player, right? And it seems like he's like, no, I want you guys to know I'm the smartest guy in the room. I'm like, well, first of all, you're not. You only went to college for 6 months. A lot of guys are smarter than you are. Just answer stupid basketball questions. And if you want to say something about social justice, say it and mean it because it's important and significant. But all that other stuff, like, yo, man, shut the hell up and talk basketball. I don't.
So I love that. And I think he's spot on. Like, yes, you can talk about things that are important to you, but you are a basketball player getting asked questions about basketball, and you're making that seem like it's not part of your job.
Right. Or like it's everyone can be annoyed. No matter what your job is, there's annoying parts to it. Right. You know what I mean? And I get that if that's part that, but you signed the contract with it in it.
Yeah. And it's not like it's a small contract. Dude's getting paid $100 million to play basketball. Yeah. And then he has to talk to reporters for 15 minutes after games.
Right.
Like that's that seems worth it.
Yeah, that's a lot of money to do that. I mean, it's like going back to what I said, where it's like there's so many people who hate their job that are not getting to live their dream, that aren't making that kind of money, and it's like.
Well, he's also making it difficult too, because there's people whose job is to talk to him after the game. Like that's their job. They're journalists. They're reporters, and they're supposed to ask questions, and he's got this whole "I'm better than you are" attitude, which is why the media is so hard on him, is because he acts like they're beneath him.
Mm-hmm. I hate people like that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people like that.
And like, he's such a good basketball player and he's so entertaining on the floor, but to have that like era of like, I'm better than you, and like I hate that with comedy too. Oh,
there's so many comedians like as Charles Barkley was saying that, I was thinking of comics.
Yeah.
Where I was like, they're all over social media or tweeting or this or that. I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, chill out.
And it's just like where one thing that I've always, like with the shows that I've run, I always try to learn the comics' names, and like there's a lot, so I don't always get everybody's name, but I try to and be available to talk to them, because one thing that I've always thought is like, while we're in Cleveland doing comedy, yes, there's hierarchies, and like I kind of explained that to you, like you have like enough clout in the scene now that if you want to go do an open mic and bump yourself up on the list, you've earned the right to do that. But it doesn't mean that you also are so much better than everybody there, because somebody else could be just as good as us in a few years.
Yeah. It does make me feel like a dick doing stuff like that, though. And I've told, guys who are running the open mics, I'm like, I try not to do it all the time.
Right.
And if I do, it's one of those things where if like I'm about to go out of town, or I'm like, I just have 2 minutes, like just let me in 2 minutes and out. Because I remember, I think I don't know if I've talked to you about this before. I said where comedy is like the only time I actually feel like a Republican, like where because I'm like, I earned it and nobody helped me before. You know what I mean? Like if I had to suffer through it and get bumped 45 times, because I do remember starting out and like you and Dalton and Twos and Ramon and like all the older dudes, the better comics, I'd be sitting at the open mic for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, what the hell? Like, why do they care? I was here first. I don't care what you've done. This is bullshit. You know what I mean? I'd be like super mad. But then it's like almost getting to a certain level where you're like, yeah, well, I worked hard to get there.
Yeah, you work hard to get there, but also you have
to. But I remember that feeling of it being so feeling, crappy.
And one thing to remember,
like what, my jokes aren't funny, you know what I mean? Like,
is like
they weren't. But.
For people to stop in, and especially this happens once you start running a show, and you know that you can put somebody on a lineup that's going to bring life into the room. Yeah. That is a huge benefit.
Yeah.
And so, like, you have to do that kind of cost. Like, yes, Kyrie is a star. Yeah. Like, he's absolutely a star. But part of being a star is going and doing those interviews. Like, when you're a good comic, like, you go and you do those open mics and you can bum people, but don't be a dick about it.
Right.
Like, there's a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just being arrogant.
Yeah.
And then I think that's hard too, though, because when you are that good and you know your worth, and like I feel like it would be hard to stay humble.
Well, it is, but it also is
you
one of those things
where
where
you don't have to be an asshole, but
there's proof that's out there as far as Kyrie Irving goes that has been very humbling, and he's not accepting that stuff. So he's talked shit about LeBron, and one of the things that started this whole thing is he went on Kevin Durant's podcast and said he's finally with somebody that he feels comfortable taking the last shot besides him.
Yeah.
Which was a shot at LeBron.
Yeah.
And the reason Kyrie's where he's at is because LeBron came back to Cleveland, teamed up with him, and put him in a national spotlight that he had never been in before.
Yeah.
And so for him to take those shots at LeBron, and then like he backtracks, like, oh, I wasn't talking about LeBron. I wasn't. And it's like, dude, you were obviously talking about LeBron. Right. And everybody knows that that's a thing where LeBron's going to do that. You know what I mean? Like, they know he's known for that. Like, well, LeBron handled the situation well.
Right.
Where like when he talked he's like, hey, I want to hear everything that he said. I want all the context. Give me the transcript. I want to read through it. I want to hear it. And then he's just like, damn, I can't believe this dude is coming at me like this.
Yeah.
Like after, I always wanted what was best for him and the team, and, and he just was kind of hurt by it. And and so Kyrie's just got that kind of me first attitude when he wants to be he wants to be Batman, but he's Robin.
Yeah.
And he's going to be Robin. Yeah. Like he's not a number one player on a team, because even when he went to the Celtics, he wasn't leading them to championships. They were better when he wasn't on the floor.
I feel like you see that in movies about bands.
Yeah.
Where, like, the one guy, like the guitarist will sabotage everything and try to start his own new band because he wants to be the guy. He wants to be the lead singer, and it never works out.
It's the whole ego thing. Like, it's okay to want to go out and do your own thing, but it's also like you got to understand like where your bread is buttered too.
Yeah, for sure.
So like I that's one thing that I think is very important, especially when it comes to, comedy or entertainment or whatever it is. Like, if you think you can do it, go out and do it and prove it, but don't act like you did it already when you haven't.
Right.
And that's one of the things that always has bothered me.
Well, we've talked about that in other aspects too, where like people will conflate what they have done or how good they actually are in all types of work, where you're just like, what are you talking about, man? Like, this is not even close. Like, you're throwing out accolades or this or that, like trying to like fit in or be a part of a conversation. But when it comes to just straight up lying, or like where your ego is just creating, and I think that sometimes people truly do believe that. Like, Kyrie does believe he's the best basketball player on the planet.
Right.
Like, he truly believes that in his head. And so I don't know where
and then when he gets teamed up with somebody that is constantly being called the best player in the world, LeBron James, he takes issue with that.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, where do I get my due? It's like, well, when LeBron wasn't on the team, you guys were a lottery. You guys had the first pick of the draft because you weren't that good.
Yeah.
Like, you don't lead a team the way he does.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's I don't know. It's just one of those things where you got to keep yourself in check and just, do the work.
Yeah. Well, and I think when I say it's got to be hard to stay humble once you, and this kind of goes back to the Kevin Love imposter syndrome thing, where you're just like being at a top level, but also realizing there's more work to be done, or you're not. I mean, if this is as great as you're ever going to be, that's also kind of depressing, where it's like, all right, well, you've peaked now.
Yeah.
If you're saying that this is as good as it gets and you don't get the respect you deserve because you're the best there ever was, like, what's the next step? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that, I mean, personally, that's something I'm, like I said, very hard on myself. So even if I do get to a certain level, like with the open mic thing, where I'm like, man, I don't want to bump these kids or whatever, like, they've been sitting here all night or yada, yada, yada. Like, you get to a certain level, you have to find the balance of knowing how good you are without conflating the ego of it.
Yeah.
Like, knowing your worth, but not over exaggerating it.
Right. Well, it's like you are good and you put in time and you have talent and you're making a living at this, but you're still at the same open mic as them.
Exactly. Yes. That's a perfect way to put it. Where it's
still
like
walking through the same door.
Yeah. My name's on the same list that yours is.
Yeah.
And
so it's, same. And that is one thing too. Like, comedy is brutal with humbling you.
Oh, God. You could be the best comic in the world and just the crowd's off or your timing's weird and you
say
eat
the
your
wrong
whole
thing.
dick. Like,
and it just sucks. I mean, you see that with...
Is it like that with sports? I don't watch a lot of basketball. Like,
well, the drop-off is there. And then also, there's a lot of things that go into, you can be an incredibly talented person, be on a bad team. Joe Thomas, for example.
Yeah.
Who is like first ballot Hall of Fame left tackle. And he was on a shitty team for most of his career.
Yeah.
Like, he had like one good season.
Yeah.
And didn't even get into the playoffs. Like, he's a guy that never went to the playoffs. So they could be like, oh... well, we can't call him the greatest left tackle of all time because he didn't, get to the playoffs.
He doesn't have a ring or whatever. Yeah,
but that doesn't play into it because he did his job really well.
Yeah.
And so, and I think that's one of those things where you just go, okay, I can control what I can, and then what I can't, you just got to let it go.
Yeah.
And that's also, one of the reasons where, like, being, having this job that we have, like, it's an opportunity. It comes to you, and you think of things more in the terms of fate, but I think of it as like there's these opportunities, and you can make choices, and those choices will lead to, consequences one way or the other. And so, one thing, and one of the consequences of us staying in Cleveland is that people will always look at us and be like, "Oh, how come you guys didn't try?" And you have plans to go to New York or whatever, but they will be like, "Oh, you're just local comedians," or blah blah blah, when that's really irrelevant to how actually funny someone is.
Yeah, I get that. But it's the way when you say there's choices that you make, I guess I don't really think about the choices so much as the reaction to things happening to me, and I understand that that's a choice, but like when a situation occurs that maybe I didn't choose, something happened and I'm like, God damn it, that sucks. Yes, I'm making choices in the future, but I'm looking at that situation that I had no control over,
right?
And that's how I see it as fate,
right? But it's just there's either opportunity or there's not,
right?
So like we both got into a job because of vacancies in the position,
right.
So it's not like is it fate that those things happened, or is it just coincident that those things happened and we were there to get the jobs?
Yeah, I guess I was thinking about like more stand-up stuff, but yeah, but
even stand-up stuff as well, like having connections and having those ties to the community where people are aware of you, so that when the opportunity becomes available, you're the one that gets called upon.
Yeah.
Versus you could be just as funny as you are now, but your ability to network with people is what puts you in front of people, so that when they say, hey, we need someone to, be in this joke writing contest for, this roast battle in Cleveland.
Yeah.
So that's why you were there. I mean, the ability was there, but your name being out there is because you know how to network.
Yeah, but the people who called me, so that's what Bill's referring to, is this roast battle that we did over in like maybe May and June.
Yeah.
Is what ultimately led to the record people calling me and saying, hey, let's put an album together.
Right. And those are opportunities that build off of each other.
Yes. But it was like, yes, I chose to take that opportunity for the roast battle, but somebody also put me up for that.
Right, but somebody that you knew because they knew who you were from taking other opportunities.
Maybe I don't know.
It's not like
maybe
I'm
uncomfortable taking credit for all that, where it's like, well, they could have given anybody else's name.
Yes, they could have.
It's cool that they gave mine.
Yes.
But I'm not, I don't know.
And I imagine they gave more than just your name.
Yeah.
And they go, okay, we looked through these names, and then because your name was one given, they looked through the credentials there and saw, okay, we like her, we want her to be in it. And then also while you were doing it, like you were having a good time, but you were also really like, man, I don't even know why I did this. Like, I hate this.
I hated it.
Yeah, but but then it led to something else.
It's the same time every time you ask me to do, I don't think people understand the amount of work that goes into a roast battle show.
Yeah.
Like, they're very entertaining. People love roasts, and I get it. I totally get it. But the amount of writing that goes into those shows for you to get a couple minutes of jokes is like hours and hours of work, and it's stressful. And in a tournament style like that, you're on a time limit. So it's like, hey, I don't find out who I'm battling tomorrow until midnight tonight. So I have a few hours to come up with jokes that are going to be good enough to advance me to the next round. That's why I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, it's stressful, and it puts a lot of pressure on you. And it's the same thing when you ask me to do stand and deliver, where it's like, I have 1 hour to write 5 jokes, which seems like it should be easy, but it's not.
But it's not. But there's something about that stress and that, that gets things firing. Like where you go, okay, here's these 5 topics. If you don't know what stand and deliver is, it's a
great idea.
It's a show
I love it.
That I used to do at East End Bistro and Tavern or pub or whatever it is. But you get 5 topics from the audience, and then 2 comics write jokes about those 5 topics and go back and forth. And I was like taking the competitiveness out of it and just make it fun, like making it silly.
Well, I'm just too competitive of a person.
I know, and that made it fun for me to be like, okay, someone, for whatever reason, I win this one as the host.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was just, but you knew who won.
Yeah, you could
really
tell
knew
which
who won.
joke was better.
Yes.
Yeah, I get that.
So, but sometimes the jokes were like just building off the jokes in the moment were some of the things that made it so fun. Mm-hmm. Like there was a lot of writing that went into it, but there's also a lot of improv, and it was such a fun exercise.
I love that.
Yeah.
I try to do it on my own, but I don't, because there's no time pressure or nobody's expecting
like,
anything.
hey.
I'm like, I'm not going to write about owls today. Like, I'm just not going to do that. Like,
yeah. So, all right. Well, I'm going to take us to a quick break. This will be my girlfriend and I talking for a little bit when we were drinking the other night.
Nice.
And we talk a little bit about Christmas. We started off with a Christmas song, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about Christmas when we get back. The point is, my girlfriend, tell me
You're
this
talking
is sad.
about me like I'm not fucking here.
I'm going to set this up.
Get off.
You have feelings about Christmas. Tell people what you think about Christmas.
If the Grinch was someone who wore weird jackets and dyed their hair and put sweatbands on their head and went in public, it might be me.
Anti-Christmas.
Fuck Christmas.
She doesn't like Christmas.
Fuck Christmas music, especially hard sideways and upside down, not the fun way.
But
Yeah,
me,
and
who
in the
I
butt.
like Christmas.
And in the butt.
I like Christmas.
Okay, why?
I like Christmas.
Why and for what?
I like giving people that I love little presents.
Okay, but you can do that any time of the year.
And I do. But I like this Christmas season. I like the lights. I like the pageantry. I don't care about the baby Jesus part.
You like the fluff?
Yes, I like the
Christmas fluff.
I'm the opposite of Charlie Brown. I like the commercialized aspects of Christmas. I want the tree, which is a pagan tradition. I want the songs that don't have to do with the baby Jesus. I
hate all of them, by the way.
All the Christmas songs?
I think Feliz Navidad is okay with me.
All right, Feliz Navidad. So you don't hate all of them.
Because
here's the thing.
Because I want to go to Mexico for fucking Christmas and be alone.
Okay, but I like All I Want for Christmas Is You, but only when but I have a caveat. I like it when it is mashed up with another song.
Throw up on this show.
Or I like the versions where it's the cyberpunk goth kids underneath the bridge from Germany.
You said punk, and I immediately thought of Dave Hill. It's like, these fucking cyberpunks.
County punks, they come around. Also, I'm wearing Dave Hill's shirt right now.
These fucking Christmas punks are gonna meet me under the mistletoe, and I'm gonna kiss them with my fists.
I joined a gang, and it is the dangerous snakes that hate bullshit. That's the gang that I'm in. So if you want to join, check out Mr. Dave Hill, who was on an episode a few days ago or a few episodes ago, and he is hilarious. I love Dave Hill. Okay,
he's very funny.
Very funny. All right, so the aspects. So I don't like the song "All I Want for Christmas Is You," but I do like seeing it mashed up with the goth kids doing their crazy cyber dance under the bridge.
You saying goth kids and dance immediately makes me think of like we are.
Have you ever seen it?
No, but like, can I tell you what I'm thinking of?
Yeah.
They're outside of a Hot Topic or outside of the mall because they got kicked out and they're all slitting their fucking wrists and like I don't like this.
All right,
none of this is good for me.
All right, well, and then I also like the sped up version of "This Is America," which I posted a couple weeks ago.
I also hate America.
Well, do you know the Childish Gambino song "This Is America"? The music video. It's that sped up to equal the RPMs or whatever it is, the beats per minute. That's what it is, beats per minute of BPM of All I Want for Christmas Is You, and it's fucking wonderful. So that's why I like that, because I am a positive person that likes to look for the positive things in life, and so I enjoy things. Yes.
Am I not?
You are until it comes to Christmas, but that brings me to my point right now. I have a Christmas tree, a tiny Christmas tree. I wasn't gonna get a Christmas tree this year because I have remodels happening in my condo.
Oh, that's a reason.
It's one of the reasons.
It's
absolutely
not the reason.
But I don't need the Christmas tree in my place.
Okay.
Also, I have a tiny dog that ruins everything.
Hold on. Are we talking about like? Because we haven't talked about this. A live tree or a fake tree?
I would always go with a fake tree because why cut down a Christmas tree?
I'm sorry. My name is Tiny Paul Bunyan. Have you looked at the internet today?
Yes, I did look at it today, and I know you like the live trees, but I like a fake tree.
Okay, hold on a fucking second.
This is somebody that hates Christmas, that has a lot of hard opinions about Christmas because she actually likes Christmas.
I don't fucking like Christmas. My mom.
It seems like you really like Christmas.
I will punch you right in the face right now behind this Christmas tree.
What if you do it in front of the Christmas tree?
No, wrong hand. No. My mom has called me or had some crony of hers or my brother call me or text
Probably
me.
a crony of probably your brother.
But also one of my mom's friends. Mm-hmm. Crony, friend, same thing. About this fucking Christmas tree. And it's been like a week and a half to 2 weeks every single day. When are we going to get a Christmas tree? And
And you got it today. So and by the time this airs, you've had it for a few days. Better be decorated.
This is my favorite story
Jennifer.
because it's so stupid. My brother, 13. So my mom lives in a double house. Like she lives upstairs with my two brothers. My uncle lives downstairs. They hate each other. He is a piece of shit. Yes, that's that guy. So my brother calls me. He's like, "Hey Sam, did you drop off a Christmas tree on the front porch? There was pine needles on the porch, but there wasn't a tree. Do you think somebody stole it?" I'm at work and it's a Friday and we are getting our dicks kicked in. Yes, I have a dick and it's made of fried chicken. You're welcome. Jesus fucking Christ. And all of my coworkers at this point have heard me screaming on the phone about a goddamn Christmas tree. And today I showed up at my mom's house with this fucking Christmas tree.
Which, may I say, is beautiful.
I'm allergic to this little fucking thing. And by little, I mean ginormous.
It's really big. It's got a big old Christmas tree dick.
You pay for it like $10 by the foot. Yeah, I assume. I think that's how it goes. It's 6.5 fucking feet tall. Oh.
So the point is, my girlfriend that hates Christmas got me a Christmas tree.
I hate Christmas.
But you got me a Christmas tree, so I don't think you actually hate Christmas.
I hate it, but I won't let my hatred bring you down.
But I didn't need this, but you wanted to have it.
But I did also tell you that I was going to buy you a tiny tree.
All right, well, you did, and I appreciate it. It's cute.
I like to keep my word. I also bought you the Beach Boys album.
That's the breakup album, for those of you that pay attention. You already knew. But if you don't, if that was the album that you got me to break up with me so I could sing those songs sadly,
Just
like
one,
Adam
dude.
Sandler.
It's just
Like,
one song.
it's one song, and I sing it sadly, like Adam Sandler in 50 First Dates.
But I still hate Christmas, and I bought 0 presents for anyone.
That's not true. You went Christmas shop? Christmas.
Okay, I bought my mom underwear. Does that count?
Yes.
I buy her a Christmas tree, and I buy her fucking underwear every year.
You didn't buy anybody else Christmas presents. Ooh.
No, I went to fucking
Someone
Target.
got a whiskey barrel and has been drinking whiskey.
I went to fucking Target today for regular ass Target bullshit. I bought toilet paper and paper towels,
Well,
and
you better get on it and buy some people some Christmas presents.
they can suck my non-existent dick.
A little while ago, you actually had a dick, and now it's non-existent. Everyone's confused. Bye-bye. We have to switch to another topic for the next segment.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Nailed it. You got back just in time.
Boom.
Like right on time.
Professional.
Wow. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. We'll have a few more of those going. Speaking of Christmas, we got a message. Also, if you need a gift this holiday season, shop small, of course. Small businesses need you now more than ever. I just got the new WMMS through the years. It's got all the different buzzards on there, which I have to say I like this spiky haired one. Back further. And it's at cleclothing.com, and you can get 20% off using the word joy.
Hey, hey.
But I really like this, the tie-dye, the black tie-dye. It's a good look. What's a good small business you like around here?
I don't know about like trinkets or anything like that.
Doesn't have to be trinkets, just be anything.
Most of the like local stuff I do is food. I try to eat local as much as I can.
Yeah.
Like if I'm not cooking at home or whatever, but like Cleveland Vegan I just discovered and I can't stop eating there. It's so good. It's unbelievable. And then right by my house in Rocky River is a place called Joe's Deli. And both of those places are like small, locally owned, and the food is phenomenal. So, I mean, if you're getting any takeout or anything like that, I definitely recommend those places.
Yeah, and then I'll also plug my ex-wife's store, Salty Not Sweet, which is a good, like, and that has a lot of local makers that are selling their stuff there. So you get to like double support local businesses by going there.
Or like following, like I follow the hashtag Cleveland artist.
Yeah,
you know,
that's a
so
good thing.
like on Instagram, so that those people show up, and if they do something that you like, there's
OK Pants and Eileen Dorsey are
Yeah.
two people that got prints that you can get, and you can show support for Cleveland artists. There's so many, and they just need our help right now. I mean, my dad is a small business owner, so like that's always been something that's been important to me, is to support small businesses when you can.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
So Cleveland Clothing Company, I've been with these guys. I mean, I've been like a supporter of them since the beginning, like when they had their first like line of shirts rolling out, and they'd go to similar events as my ex-wife, where they'd be like just set up at a table.
Yeah.
They didn't have any storefronts or anything. Just like two dudes. One of them is brothers with a kid that was in my grade, and we went to high school together.
Oh, cool.
So it was just like, to see that company grow. And now it seems like it's like a big company.
Yeah.
But it's still a local small company.
It's not anywhere outside of Cleveland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and they have MMS shirts, which I love. And okay,
I have to get some that fit me.
Yeah.
Because all I have is promo shirts from a few years ago. Whenever we did our last live Indian, 2018, I think.
Oh yeah.
So I was still big, and I went through a phase where I didn't feel comfortable wearing like cute clothes, so I would just wear men's mediums of everything. So since I've lost a little bit of weight, they just don't fit. So I have to like either tie them up or whatever. I don't want to cut them or anything like that, but I gotta go get some clothes that fit me from them.
Let's do this real quick. Major League Baseball has filed a patent or a trademark for Citizens, and people are speculating is the team name for the Indians going to change to the Citizens. And what are your thoughts on that?
I hate that.
You
That's
hate
the
it?
dumbest name.
It's like,
so
do you watch
aggravating.
Community?
Yeah.
So the Community, like, oh, we're the human beings.
Yeah.
Like, just like, okay. So you're going way too far the other way. Like,
It's super frustrating.
Yeah.
And like I get it if you're trying to find something that's like totally 100% absolutely cannot be seen as controversial in any way.
But it
And
could
it's like,
totally be seen as controversial, because then they'd be like, well, what about the people that are here illegally? They're good people too.
or people who are applying for citizenship
right?
and whatever. It's like, I don't know.
Oh, citizens are better than non-citizens. And it's dumb, and it's lame, and it's boring. So I really hope that's not something that's going to
We were joking
happen.
in the group text.
Yeah.
You weren't really participating the other day.
I was
we were
doing
going back
other
and
things.
forth. Yeah, I was saying like,
Sometimes we had the group text going. And also, for whatever reason, there's two group texts. Did you notice that?
just delete the other one. Whatever one we were texting in today, delete the other one.
And it'll just all go to one?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. One of them's labeled the Alan Cox Show. The other one isn't.
That's the one that I use.
Yeah, that's the one that
I
everybody
labeled.
uses.
No, because Pound Cake doesn't. That's the one that was going the other day with the Citizens thing in it.
Oh.
So I'm going to delete that one. And will it...
Well, then we need to reach out to Cody and tell him that.
He needs to delete that one.
Oh, no, that's the one Alan did. Alan started that about the citizens.
But is that...
Alan started that. There's no... I had no text before that at all in that group.
Well, we'll have to teach him how to do things.
Come on, Alan.
But you know why he does that?
Oh, 'cause he deletes all of his texts.
because he's a crazy person.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway.
GV Art and Design is another local company. Big on T-shirts here in Cleveland. Also,
Yes.
Mistakes on the Lake.
Yes.
They're friends.
Lots
yeah,
of them.
Yeah. So, Citizens sucks. Okay, on to one more Cleveland topic. The zoo. They're getting a zip line.
Are they?
Yeah.
I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they haven't done that yet.
It's going to be like 2 chairs, and you can go down, and you don't have to get like harnessed up. It's like more like a what do they call those? Like a ski lift.
Yeah.
Kind of
That'll
thing.
be so fun.
That'd be so fun. And imagine what enclosure would you like to fall into, and then have to fight your way out.
Penguins?
They don't have a penguins enclosure anymore.
Why? I haven't been there in forever.
It's gone. Because it used to be
Not the monkeys.
by the birds area, and like where like there's like bats and birds and all
Maybe
that stuff.
aviation, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go into the aviary because then
Yeah.
I'm going to be on the ground and they'll be above. They're not going to attack, right? Mm-hmm. If Alfred Hitchcock taught
So
us
you just
anything.
you just want a cakewalk. You don't want to like
I'm not
prove
battling
anything.
my way out of any. You drop me in the gorilla cage? Are you kidding me? No way. Absolutely not. Lions, no.
And you don't want to just become one
Polar
with them.
bears,
I
nope.
feel like if I fall into the lion's cage, I'm riding one of those lions out of there.
No, you will not.
Yes,
The
I
lion
will.
will
I will
rip your
tame
head
that
off.
lion. No, at first we're going to be adversaries, but then we're going to learn to understand each other.
Nope.
in a
You're
very
wrong.
quick amount of time.
Very wrong. Maybe the
This
otters.
is where Mary's the pessimist of the situation.
I'd hang out with the otters. We'd
Otters
like
are great.
swim and play and stuff. That
Otters
I'd
are
be
very
in.
cute.
I'd be into that.
They're very cute. I like an otter a lot, but I think it's a cool thing. I think it's going to be. They said they want to have it done by like Memorial Day.
Oh, that'd
and
be
it's going to be
awesome.
going all year long, which I think is hilarious to be like, hey, let's go to the zoo in January.
Well, they do zoo lights.
Yeah, I know, but like, it's just like that's something I'm gonna like force someone to do.
Yeah.
Just to be like, hey, it's open in January. Let's go on the zip line.
Right. Whatever. Man, the way it was snowing yesterday, that like light, soft,
yeah.
quiet snow, I love that.
And
I'll
that's
be
very
out.
good.
That is the only way you're going to get me outdoors in the winter.
Yeah.
Is that like if it's snowing like that, I don't like being cold for the sake of being cold, and I'm always cold, right?
Right.
So I'm not going to go walk around the zoo when it's 29 degrees or less.
But don't you like to get bundled up in a nice way?
To a certain degree, if I'm doing something.
But
like,
again,
that
it's got to
I
be
like.
kind of like it was yesterday, where it's a
Yeah,
nice
it
light
was like
snow,
30,
and it wasn't
it was-
too windy or anything like
Yes.
that. That's the thing, is when it gets wind, like the wind is what kills you, especially up by the lake. Like
Yeah.
it's so brutal.
I'll cut right through you, man.
Mm-hmm.
I used to have 2 bartending jobs downtown, and I would walk from one to the other.
Yeah.
And because it was just faster.
Yeah.
It was like in 2015, 16, when sports were doing really well. I'm like, I can't get in my car and drive 5 blocks in the half hour that I need to.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know. But I just hate that, like walking and it's just windy and cold and ugh. Like bundling up to go to like a Browns game or something like that. It's different because you're gonna like, and I guess depending on the activity, I like ice skating.
Yeah.
Like that's something I really enjoy.
Skating's very fun. I like doing that stuff, and I being out in the cold makes me appreciate being home, because there's that moment when you get inside and you take everything off
And your
and
nose
you're
is
warming
all red.
up, and it's
Yeah.
just like, that's such a good feeling. Like your hair's all matted down, you're like
You're
cold, but you're sweaty. Like
yeah,
it's,
like after playing out, like
Yeah.
sledding or something. Man, I haven't been sledding in forever.
sledding's fun.
Just go sled. Well, I guess we did the Polar Blast this year.
Yeah, but that's like one time down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like going again and again, like going with your niece or something would be fun.
We should go. Yeah, I should go sledding.
Yeah.
I like that. Then see, here's my thing. The reason why I like winter so much is because I like the way that it looks.
It
So
looks
I'm one
great.
of those people who I like being inside and warm and looking out at winter. Like going out to eat in the wintertime is probably my favorite thing.
Yeah.
Where I'm just like kind of warm. I got
It's
really good food and I
very
see the snow.
picturesque.
outside. Yes, I
Yes.
love that. I absolutely love that.
We got a message from one of our customers, Geraldine. Great live show today. I don't know if you have each show planned or not. I was curious to hear what some of your or Mary's holiday traditions were, or maybe some funny stories from Christmas past, favorite gifts, worst gifts, and then also like movies and stuff like that. So there's a lot to cover there.
Yeah.
But like one of my biggest Christmas memories was I was in kindergarten, and we were at a Christmas party. It was Christmas Eve, and I was just like all these adults there, and I stepped on this guy's foot. He was actually a Mormon missionary at the time, so he's from like elsewhere, and he's just there at this party. And I stepped on his foot, and he launched me into the air, and I landed on my arm, broke my arm. Same arm that I'd broken in the summer is actually my left arm.
Oh no.
And then I had to spend Christmas Eve in the hospital
Oh damn.
as like a kindergartner. So I still believed in
Yeah.
Santa.
Oh, no.
It was, and like I kept crying for my mom. It was terrifying.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I don't have anything depressing. Like, I mean, no.
I mean, again, it wasn't really depressing. It was like, because that's just like, it's not depressing when you're that young.
Yeah. I get what
It's
you're
just
saying.
scary.
Yeah, I
It's
guess.
just like, it's a regular, you're like, this is different. I don't like this. And then my brother and sisters were, well, my sister was pretty young still, but they were like losing their minds because they couldn't open presents till I got home.
Yeah.
And they
I
couldn't set
get
my
it. Yeah,
arm
yeah,
until
yeah.
the morning because the doctors were all
Oh, they're home for Christmas.
all home for Christmas. So like I had to spend the night there. My mom brought me one present to open, and like
They didn't, your mom didn't stay with you?
she did,
Oh, okay.
but she like I was knocked out, so like I don't know how long I was actually
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
But I got like she went home and got stuff, or my
Yeah.
dad brought her stuff or whatever. But
I mean, we don't really have a lot of traditions that we do anymore, but we used to go to my my Aunt Vicky's, which is, we still do this on Christmas Eve. Everybody goes over there and food and drink and blah, blah, blah. And then on Christmas night, we would go to my Uncle Tony's house. This is on my mom's side, because she has 8 brothers and sisters, tons of cousins, everything like that. And we would play games, so like catchphrase or whatever. Fun. And it was great. And it was a bummer because we kind of stopped doing it right around the age, I think the age was 16, where all the kids who were under 16 had to stay in the basement and play. And then all the adults, if you were 16, I think it was 16. It might have been 18. I think it was 16. But you were finally allowed to come upstairs and like you could like play the games with because they're all drinking and having a good time. And like you don't want to be annoyed by kids. So just like go in the basement. Yes. And we only did it for a few more years after I was able. I remember coming back from college like once. And then everybody kind of started to have their own families. So, like, our group of kids were in their 20s and 30s having their own kids. So then people kind of started, like, branching and doing their own family things. But we still do some of that stuff. My mom and I have a couple... so my favorite movie is It's a Wonderful Life. Yes. My mom watched it while she was in the hospital with me after she gave birth. Because I was born around Thanksgiving. My birthday is November 25th. So every year for my birthday, she'll come over... And we'll do like a brunch. We'll have like omelets and fake. We would have mimosas. Now we do like fake mimosas with the sparkling grape juice and all that. And we watch It's a Wonderful Life. And we've done that since I've moved out on my own. So like 2017. It's only been a few years that we've done that, but it's been awesome.
But it's like a nice little tradition that you
it's
guys have
so
developed.
Great. Yeah.
It's cute.
I love it. And then she usually comes over Christmas morning as well. We don't have to watch that movie. We usually do. Yeah. But we'll do the same like Christmas morning brunch because, we go to my dad's for dinner and they're divorced. And so you want to have like some time with her too, on the holidays. So, well,
like with my family, like my parents would do the like manger scene and they like read from the Bible like on Christmas Eve when we'd all get together, and they make the like kids dress up like that.
Are you serious? I was joking.
No, and it wasn't like they had like real costumes. You'd like put blankets over your head and be like a shepherd or whatever. And was
there a fight over who got to be Jesus?
Well, it's always the baby, because there'd always be a baby, so we just use whatever baby was new as the baby Jesus, and then like some years there'd be like 3 baby Jesuses because my aunts and uncles would there was so many kids in our family, so there'd be a lot of that, and then then so much of that where like the adults, and there wasn't any drinking because everyone was Mormon, but the adults would do one thing and the kids would just go in the basement and just like wreak havoc.
Oh, yeah.
So loud and so obnoxious.
Yeah.
And then with my kids, we just do like a pretty typical Christmas day where we'd open presents in the morning. We'd have we do stockings, and then we do a breakfast, and then we'd have the presents after the breakfast.
Yeah.
Kind of like break things up.
Yeah, that's fun. We never. Yeah, I mean, growing up, it was a broken home and whatever. My parents always did try to make the holidays as best as they could. Yeah. Even if they couldn't stand each other. You know what I mean? So
that's nice though. At least they tried. Yeah.
My dad, after he left, he would come over with like garbage bags full of gifts. And, he'd come back to my mom's house before we moved in with him. So there were a few years in between when he would do that. And so they always, most of my memories are good, even though if I were to probably dig deep, they'd be super depressing.
Yeah.
But I'm going to leave them with, they tried their best.
They tried their best.
You know
and again,
what I mean?
They
tried their best to make a bad situation good.
Everything's depressing when you are a certain age. Mm-hmm. But like when you said like, oh, that's depressing that you're a little kid in the no, but it's not. I don't think of that as like a sad thing. It's almost like one of my most memorable Christmases because it was so different than the other ones, and it also was really endearing that my mom was there through the night with me and brought me a present and tried to make it be as normal a Christmas as it could considering I was in the hospital. But there was also an Alf special that came out around that same time.
There you go.
That I was thinking about because it was about like a little girl that was in the hospital for Christmas, and Alf like was her like guardian angel or some weird thing. Yeah. But I'm like, oh, I'm like the little dying girl from the Alf thing.
No. That's funny.
So yeah, Mormons celebrate Christmas. Mormons are the name of the Mormon church is the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So it is a Christian church. It's just like another Protestant church. People don't know that about Mormons a lot.
Yeah.
They think it's not a Christian
like its
religion.
Own thing, yeah.
Yeah, but it is. So there you go. They do that, and then they celebrate birthdays and all that stuff. You're thinking of Jehovah's Witnesses that don't do any like celebrations. That's their thing.
Yeah.
They don't do that. All right, let's do some voicemails. Want to do some voicemails?
Sure.
All right. Where is that? All right. I'm going to hook it up here.
Come on, Bill.
Well, it's a lot, and I don't have a producer, just me. All right, here we go.
Hey, both of you, Ron from Talmadge. Great live show today. Couple things. Fire sauce is the best Taco Bell sauce. I also take regular dishes into the car. Looking forward to jokes on you this Sunday. And lastly, your call-in number is 216-30-CURVE, which works if you want to open your own Curves franchise, or alternatively, 216-302-TRUE, and you can let Mary have that number so she can do a live show about her Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Thanks. Bye.
Ron's great. I love Ron.
That is very fun. And yes, we are doing jokes on you this Sunday. So if you don't want to watch the Browns game, come on out.
It's a night game.
Yeah, it's a night game. They moved to nights, and I was like, John, you got to be ready. There's not going to be a lot of people there this week. I mean, we start at 7, so you can watch both. We'll be done before the game starts.
I thought the game started at 8.
Like 8:20.
Oh, so you're going to be like, this is a 1-hour show.
Yeah, we're going to keep it nice and tight this week.
He asked me to do it, too, and I was like, I mean, not that I love doing that show.
Yeah.
I do most of them. You know
Right.
what? I'm, if you want me,
Yeah.
I'll be there. But yeah, there's going to be 5 people there.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, do you agree Taco Bell's the fire sauce? A lot of people...
Too hot. I haven't revisited it in a while. But
yeah, because now you got, like, iron tongue.
I know. I've upgraded.
Yeah.
So when I got Taco Bell a couple weeks ago, it had been years. Whenever I was quarantined, so around my birthday, I upgraded from mild to hot, maybe? Mm-hmm. I used to only get mild, and I think I switched to medium a couple years ago, and then I think I got hot sauce for the first time from Taco Bell. And it was good. It was like a kick.
Good.
I've
It's
never
a nice
had
kick.
the fire sauce, though.
And he also takes glasses into the car, which a lot of people reached out about that.
Yeah,
They're
well,
like, stop doing that, you crazy
You're
person.
definitely not supposed to, and I
Yes.
know that. I have plastic cups that I've taken from like restaurants I've worked at.
Yeah.
Like they're like little plastic Coke cups. I have those, but it's just usually
Just like having an open cup seems like so bad to me.
Why?
I
mean, it's gonna spill.
Yes, that's why.
It's
the spilling,
probably-
and then it gets into parts of your car that you can't get to clean.
It's honestly, and I'm not usually taking anything but water.
Yeah.
Like I'm not taking pop or anything
Right.
like that. But 90% of the time, if I take something in my car with me, it will be like a travel case or like some kind of a bottle or something like that. But every now and then, if I'm just like rushing out of the house, I'll just grab the water I was drinking and bring it with me.
Yeah, that's
just
not
to
how I
have
am.
something to drink. And I think that comes from never having nice cars, where it's like, so what if it spills?
Yeah.
What's the
All right.
difference?
Fair, fair. All right, let's go with this one.
Hey, Bill, Mary. I just want to say I love that you guys are doing these extra shows on Bill's podcast. I think it's awesome. You guys get me through my day every day. I want to
Real quick, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel too, and then also check out if you can't catch it here on YouTube, it's on iHeartRadio and Apple Podcasts.
comment on the first topic that you guys talked about today, how guys always have to double check you on everything. I do that. I get that all the time. My husband does that to me when I do house projects, when I'm talking about sports. He's always double checking me, and it drives me crazy. So I completely understand, Mark. I get it. I feel you on that. So, and Merry Christmas, both you guys. Love the show. Talk to you guys later.
Measure twice, cut once.
It's infuriating.
It's the same thing. You just want to make sure that you're right.
Don't ask me. Don't ask me.
It's just making sure things are right.
I get it.
But
then research it on your own. Don't ask me.
Sometimes it's not asking. It's just, like I said, people
if
telling you
it's offered
things.
up, I get it.
Yes.
So if anybody is interacting with me, I'm not going to offer up information that I don't know is true.
And even if
Because you know what?
she doesn't.
I don't like being corrected.
Yeah.
So I'd rather not speak on something I don't know and than be corrected. Or I'll straight up say, I'm not sure if this is true or this is, you know what I mean? It drives me nuts.
All right. Here's another one.
Hey, how you doing in that? Hey, Mary. Just anytime you're feeling down, just remember that you're Cleveland scene's second best comedian, working on the best radio show on the best station, and even better than that, you're the greatest lawyer in the West, and you really know how to cook on a hot and steamy pot. Bye.
Aw, I needed that.
There
That
you
was
go.
such a sweet thing. Thank you so much.
All right.
And I did use my crock pot yesterday. So I
there you
did
go.
cook in a hot and steamy pot.
Look at you. Living up to it.
That's awesome. Thank you, man. I don't know who that was, but I appreciate that.
Yep. I would still like more encouragement for me to get into my dental hobby.
Dental hobby.
Nobody seems to think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Where I'm just doing freelance dental work, just
out of your
videos. I mean, I'll do it inside houses and stuff.
You'll do house calls?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll do it wherever you want to do it, and just watch some YouTube videos and go from there. Mm-hmm. It doesn't seem that
You're
hard.
gonna get a lot of traction on that.
Hey, Alan. How you like that? That's my Dick from Dayton impression. So I'm listening to Thursday's show, and I like it. I subscribed. I haven't listened to your old episodes yet. I just want to say you guys are doing a good job, and I just want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas, and hopefully 2021 will be a better year. Take care.
There you go.
Well,
thank you to everybody that has done this, called into the podcast and contributed and subscribed. I really do appreciate it. We have a lot of fun doing it, and we'll keep doing it. We'll do it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week, and then the following week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday as well. And anything else you want to add, Mary, before we sign off for the day? Make sure we hit all the topics I want to. Yep.
I'm pretty sure, I mean, we don't have to talk about this, but we can. I'm pretty sure that the ice cream I got yesterday wasn't vegan because
really?
I was
Yeah, let's talk about this. Let's talk about diarrhea.
I was so sick, and I don't think it was the food that I made because, and if we both, well, I don't know
wasn't
if
your
you
wet
made
taco?
it might have been my wet taco. I don't know, but it's like all that stuff I've had before. It was chicken and vegetables and salsa. You know what I mean? There was nothing in there that would have made me sick, and it was like maybe 20 minutes after I ate the ice cream that I was like, oh no, and like I had to go to the bathroom, and then it was like 2 hours that I did not leave my bathroom, and I was laying on my floor.
Oh, Jesus.
So sick.
Well, that's why you're depressed. You're dehydrated.
I'm dehydrated as hell today. And
Yeah.
I was just fighting the urge to throw up for like 3 straight hours because I hate throwing up, and I'm like...
I know you hate throwing up, but it's one
I know
of those
I'll
things
feel better.
where like,
I know
if you
I
just
will.
get it out that way, you're going to feel better. So like, what's worse? Like,
I know. I know.
Like
I
that
get it.
stubbornness that you have
It makes me
so counterproductive.
so shaky. Like to think about it, I hate it so much, and I know it's irrational, and I understand that. But I was pissed because I'm like, I called the ice cream place, and I was like, listen, I think you guys messed up. And I was like, I understand if it's an honest mistake, and like maybe it was a new person, or they just grabbed the wrong thing, and the girl got kind of not like shitty with me, but she was like, wouldn't you be able to tell the difference? And I was like, actually, that's the reason why I come here, is because
I can't.
because your vegan ice cream is so good that I can't tell the difference. And so I was like aggravated, and I was like, listen, if it's I just need to know, because if that's not what it is, I'm going to go to the hospital.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and just the way that I felt, I was like, I know that's what it is. And the manager called me back. He's like, I assure you, I looked through it, I watched the tape, I called the guy, you got the right. I was like, I don't think that I did. And like, even though he's saying that, I'm like, there's no way unless I didn't eat anything else. I ate the food that I made, but it was just chicken and salsa and vegetables. You know what I mean?
Your wet taco. I think it's not fair to blame the ice cream place when you.
I'm gonna eat wet tacos again here in about 10 minutes.
So then we'll know.
If I get super sick, then I will apologize to the ice cream place.
Was it the vegan sour cream that you tried?
I thought about that.
Because, I mean, that could have just been that gross. That your body's like, get out of me.
Disgusting. It was really, really nasty.
Yeah, there's some vegan stuff that is real good, and then there's still stuff that they are trying to figure out.
It tasted like they melted down Play-Doh. It was awful. It wasn't even a good texture. It was like gritty. It was really bad. It could have been that. But I know how I feel when I eat dairy, and that is how I feel. So I was very upset about that.
Well, that's disgusting.
Yes. I just had to get that out. It's on my head, my head, in my brain.
All right, well, that is this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Goodbye.
This is the Bill Squire Show.